Pretty warm in here. Plus the curtains, I figured that might help a little bit.
You too. You're all snowy. Been out playing?
Yeah, I think cross country. I had over a foot of snow at my house.
Nice.
Wow.
I went dog romping. That was great. They were all snowball. Test.
What kind of dogs do you have?
I have an old English sheepdog who's super furry right now, so it's fun. And I have a doodle who is shaved, so I'm lucky.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they just love snow.
Does the English sheepdog get little snowballs?
He can. I usually put musher stuff on his paws, but didn't have it out today.
Yeah.
It was spontaneous.
Yeah. They used to have newfies and that would happen and then
Yes.
stop and get it out. And we tried boots, but they didn't like boots.
They don't like boots either. The musher stuff works great. I can get them, get it early enough.
Good to know.
I use them as an excuse to play, actually.
Yeah, dogs and kids, they're good for that.
I know, right? Yeah, it's fun. It's not too cold.
No.
Yeah. Just kidding. Well, it might be, you might have a year.
Hey Dave, can you hear us?
I can, Preston. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. How you doing?
Good. Very good. We've got 10 more days in Golden supporting our grandkids and kids.
Awesome.
How's the baby?
Well, which one? We've got our 2-month-old and our 4-month-old and our 2-year-old.
I was meaning the littlest ones, but yeah.
Yeah. They're all doing well except the 2-year-old has a cold and a GI bug. So we're moving in with them in a couple of days. So we're trying to stay well in the meantime. So, yep, all good. 4 to 5 inches of snow tonight, so we'll see.
Yeah, we've got a fair amount here. Hi, Leah.
Hello.
How's it going?
Working from home because it's too snowy. How about you?
Yeah. Well, I only live 5 minutes from work, so it's not too bad. Oh, there's Elvis. Elvis. Hi. Hi, I know. Kind of new.
Terry, we like the picture better.
Nice.
It's so cute.
Hey Leah, hey Dave, hey Terry.
Dave, do you know, is David Kay still out of town?
I think that's my understanding.
Is he okay?
Look like Christmas too.
I don't look like I like something on it still.
It's so sparkly.
Yeah, you did that.
I do remember.
Yes.
That's all Alzheimer's and I haven't had yet. Don't blame on that for you.
God.
So I think everyone's accounted for it. David is still out of the country. So Dave, do you want to go ahead and call the meeting to order?
I think Sheridan's gonna take
Oh, I'm
the
sorry,
lead.
Sheridan, I forgot.
Yeah.
How do I officially call it to order?
Bang the gavel somehow.
All right, let's see, it's 5:03, meeting is called to order.
We'll do a roll call. Dana,
Possibly here.
and then Dave Jones.
Here?
David Kay is absent. Christina.
Here.
Sheridan.
Here.
And Terry.
Here. Nice and warm.
Hey, Christine.
Are you out of town, Terry, or are you?
No, I'm just too lazy to shovel off my truck.
Understood.
Old age.
The first item is, just like the last meeting, is another update on the local impact accelerator grant application that we submitted to that program. We don't have any substantive news at this point. I think we're supposed to hear on or by December 15th, which is after we have adopted the town council's adopted the fiscal year 2026 budget. The only news worth sharing is that the Colorado Energy Office has already reached out to us about scheduling a scoping meeting, which they claim that they do with all the applicants in an effort to be efficient with their time and effective with their time. But it seems to me that it's a good sign that we have that scoping meeting already set. Terry, I can't remember if you were included on that or if you were invited to attend that scoping meeting. If not, I can forward it to you.
No, I'd like to. I didn't see an email to that effect.
Okay. Yeah, it's later this month I think it's on the 19th, but yeah. No,
I agree with you. Why would they invite us to do that if we were eliminated?
yeah, again, their email said that they were setting up scoping meetings with all applicants, but I don't know if there's any merits to that, but it seems like a good sign. So that's the only thing worth updating. Outside of that, we're just kind of waiting.
Yeah.
If our application is successful.
Well,
And we know by December something?
Mid-December,
please.
after the budget is approved. Any questions?
No, thank you for that update.
You're welcome.
Along those lines, I think I forwarded, I'm trying to find the email, the budget numbers that came out of our application. Sharon, did I send those to you?
Yes, you did, and I put them in our, right there we are.
Okay, yeah, I thought that might have been the case. So that for example, that 25K I understood, but the 94, was that based upon our specific, so we must have submitted less than 2 million for that bucket?
Yeah, I think that's correct. And same goes with the vision budget as well as.
Right.
Just, yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, great.
Well, the next item and really the only substantive item of the agenda is finalization of the projects and initiatives to recommend to the town board for inclusion in the work plan. Huge thanks to Sheridan for sending me this last week or a couple weeks ago. I did make some modifications to the description column for all of these work items. So kind of as we go through this, take a read. I just really tried to just assist with it grammatically and how it flows. And so those descriptions match what we have in the annual strategic plan and the corresponding value. But again, huge shout out to all of you for helping to formulate this, but Sheridan for keeping notes from the last meeting and making some modifications before sending this my way so that I could finalize the most recent draft of the strategic plan, which goes before the town council tomorrow night for some collective direction. And there's no real agenda here outside of just, going through this, cruising through it one last time on this collective setting so that we can get it solidified and make sure that what's reflected, that what you all really want to see happen is reflected before the town council. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I have a question, follow-up question. I don't remember how we did this last year, but do we need approval, not just for the budget, but just for our goals? Or no, it's more just to let them know what we're working on?
Budget.
Okay, just the budget.
No, you all don't need to do anything related to the budget. I mean, it's included in all the things we talked about are included in the budget already. It's really just the goals and the work plan items is we just want to make sure that what you all are married to and agree upon here is brought before the town council so that they have to buy in and ultimately reflected in the strategic.
I still question whether or not we're going to be paying $13 a cup for those commemorative.
No, they're not 13. They're not 13 a cup.
So I based that off of, I look at the Silipac or whatever those, the kind of the silicone cups. And those are $13.50 for 60 or more. So I use that as a basis if we want to go that way.
Less than $1 each for those aluminum cups.
So if you go to the ball cups.
Yeah.
You can do that. So, I mean, we can talk about this as we formulate the plans, but the question is whether do we want a durable commemorative cup that people can bring, keep bringing back and maybe get some discount on beer or drinks? Or do we want just aluminum cups? And aluminum cups are, they're not anywhere near that. So.
Yeah, and thank you for the context. I would say that we don't need to hash all that out, but there's money in the budget. I mean, if you all want to talk about it, by all means, but there's money in the budget to accommodate what you're talking about, what Dana wants to see happen, or whatever needs to happen. So
maybe there's a
I wouldn't
combination.
fixate on the number too much, but at some point, maybe after the first year, we should circle around and start to hone in on what we want to do and how we want to proceed with the order.
Right. So I have some thoughts on that just real briefly. I think that beginning with the January meeting, we should each start coming with our ideas and proposals for what we want to get done and how we want to go about it, ideas for our, the items that we're responsible for. And that's where we would discuss the details of, what do we want to do in terms of, what does zero plastics mean? How do we accomplish that? How does zero waste mean? How do we accomplish that? How do we go about putting together a zero waste policy? Do we do commemorative cups? If so, how many? How do we get them paid for? How do we get reimbursed for? All those kinds of things. I think we should begin thinking a lot in detail on starting January 1st. We should come prepared to go through those ideas. Should be thinking about this over Christmas.
Yeah, I love what you're saying. I hope everyone's bought into that, but beyond just that item, all the items, how to advance all of those items. I think that's important. Just like we did this last year, I think we made some really good headway and we're set up well for 2026. So thanks for that, David.
So I talked to Pam. Can I talk for a second since we're talking about plastics and recycling? I talked to Pam today. I got the vendor information, what the town does. They actually require compostable products, but obviously it's ignored. So she suggested that they have to sign, the vendors have to sign an agreement. And she also said the reason that the plastic cup, if you guys want to hear this, why the plastic cups were used instead of, she told me that she ordered aluminum cups years ago. I thought it was our little push, but anyway.
We have a bunch.
I know.
Years ago, we still have a bunch.
Yeah, I thought that we did it, but she said, no, she ordered it years and years ago. So she's for the plastic cups or the reusable cups. So here's the deal. When the Sherbino took over the park venue, and I'm not sure they're going to do it again, they refused to let cups be refilled. And so Pam even had them call the state, and the state told them it's totally kosher to refill the cups at festivals. So I don't know what their stick in the mud was, but she also recommended, and I am working on this application. I've got a whole bunch of stuff. It's not going to be hard at all. She recommended that it's in in the vendor information that it's required to use those cups, so that to eliminate anybody not using those cups. So I'm just going to share that so that's why whatever those cups are.
Good work. Good work, Dana.
That is.
It was interesting to talk to her. I knew, well, anyway.
I think there's a stash. Preston, do you remember it was for some event over at the Decker? We were trying to get some of those aluminum cups, and they're stashed down below a floor or something. They're in a hard to access space, but there's still several boxes of them.
Yeah, I know where they are. They're in the crawl space under this building.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know how many boxes though. But we can,
Yeah.
Well, I thought I'd put together a few little, because I've got from all different vendors, from like big cities to small towns, their applications. So maybe I got to put something together, and maybe in the next meeting I could give a presentation, since it wasn't on our thing this time, because there are actually some places require that you buy your products from
specifically.
Yeah, from a certain place that only, I can't remember the name of it now, but it's two places require it, like Telluride has it from Shamrock Foods, and then there's another one that's all it is green is all we do. So I don't, and she also told me that there's only 20 venue carts in the area, and so it's not a big deal. It's usually the same people every time that do it. So I got a handle on it now. And she did bring up a point which I thought was interesting. Even if we do require this of the vendors, that people bring, pizzas and their own food into the park. So we would still have to have a recyclable. I was hoping we could just have two bins, trash and compostable. We're gonna have to have a recycle too because of what other people bring in, but this looks like a piece of cake to make things so much better than it.
Thanks, Dana. And the aluminum cups are recyclable, so
Right,
um,
and reusable.
they're reusable, but some people choose not to reuse them. They choose to
Right.
recycle them or at the end of
Right.
the night. So I agree with
Right.
you. We would need a recycle bin.
Right. So I'll just work on this because Pam just was a font of knowledge today. And she's told,
Fantastic.
I was hoping that there was going to be problems that she's been doing it for so long. She's totally on it. So that's awesome. And then just one other thing. Is the town creating metal idling signs? You know? We passed the,
We had the second reading or the first
And
reading.
we haven't, that hasn't been adopted yet, so
oh, I thought it had been adopted.
next week at the second meeting,
Next week or tomorrow?
next week.
Next week. Okay, so I should.
Oh, tomorrow's just the budget
Yeah,
presentation.
tomorrow's.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
okay. Okay. And
Just a personal opinion on the silicone versus aluminum. I experienced at Bluegrass when they were trying to use some of the silicone cups. One, they don't seem to they don't appear to keep your drink as cold. Two, when you fill them from a beer tap, they foam up really badly for some reason. So I think the aluminum are preferable from just a practicality point of view. So I mean, from the serving side point of view. And it may be that if we have to pay $13 and charge 15, we're going to get very few people using them, whereas the aluminum cups are probably just become standard fare. So we can have our message more readily accessed by having hundreds and hundreds of aluminum cups out there versus maybe the 20 to 50 that people might buy. That's my input.
Yeah, that
Here,
makes
here.
sense.
Can I bring up one other thing or are we moving, or am I jumping out of? I was wondering if this committee would be interested in posting something on our website about sustainability for human rights. Something about the Ridgway SAB committee honors the sustainability of our rule of law as outlined by our Constitution and in international laws and condemn all illegal aggression and killings, domestic or international. I'm wondering if anybody'd be interested in doing
Dana,
that.
whereas I agree with the sentiment, I think that borders on us taking a political stance. And from my experience on
So how
council,
about that?
we try to avoid taking clearly a political stance. We can take
This isn't a political stance, it's standing up for the rule of law.
it's an ideological stance that can be confused with a political stance. That's my input on that. I mean,
How
I
could
agree
it be
with it.
political if you're standing up for the rule of law and the Constitution? We should all be standing up for that. I'm not saying, put Trump in jail, which I wish I could
Yeah,
say.
Dana, I think we all
I don't
agree with
agree with
that.
that
And
being political.
at the same time, I think we have a lot of battles that we're going to be fighting, and I don't want to alienate our people in our community. So
How can you alienate somebody when you're standing up for the Constitution? Okay, whatever. I know this is.
Turn on the news, you'll see the answer to your question that's happening, whether it makes sense or not. Like Dave, I totally agree with the sentiment and the ideology, but I think it would somewhat paint the Sustainability Advisory Board as leaning one way or another politically, and I don't think we want to tread on that.
You mean leaning what way?
Well, come on, you know what I'm talking about.
No, I
Those who
don't,
are
because it's the
those who
Constitution.
are conservative would think that we would be leaning left wing or liberal if we came out with that statement. As true as it is, and as right as it is, and as correct as it is, I don't think it's just something we need to invite
All right, I'll just do it on my own somewhere else.
Yeah,
I think
well,
we need
we should all-
to- I think we need to realize or recognize also that the Sustainability Advisory Board actually is part of the town of Ridgway. And so anything we put on our website is
Exactly.
something that the town would also have
You
to.
guys are pretty chicken shit when it comes to the Constitution, I must say, but that's okay. We're gonna go down with the ship. You know,
Well,
you don't speak up,
to your-
the ship goes
to your
down.
point though, it's implied. It almost doesn't need to be
Democracy
stated,
dies
but
in the
it's law.
dark. Okay, that's all right. I understand.
Well, it's stated law, so it's implied. I don't know if we need to take a stand on it, right?
We could organize a rally outside of that though.
Yeah, well, I can just do something because I protest every Friday. I'll just make a sign. But
Dana, I love your
if you don't
passion.
stand up for the Constitution, we're doomed to, you
No,
know.
I think we all agree, we just don't want sustainability to be a political issue. Everybody should be for sustainability and getting the carbon out and all that. It shouldn't be a political issue.
Well, actually, carbon is a political issue too, if you want to throw out the political issue.
I know it
Because rednecks
is, but
certainly don't agree
shouldn't
with
be.
it either, so, you know, it's okay, you guys don't want to make a stand, I understand, I guess. I don't really understand, but go ahead.
Dana, was there anything else on?
No, that's all I have. Thank you. Thanks for letting me throw
So
those things out.
returning to the work plan, is there anything else in the work plan that anybody's seen that redoing that we need to fix before we go forward with it? Okay,
No, it looked
I
awesome.
think we're good to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I said earlier, I think we all need to start thinking in detail. You, Dana, you already have on the, the
Waste.
zero waste thing, so that's
Yeah,
great.
I'm on it.
And we all need to continue doing all that with the rest of our stuff too, so.
When would you like to start? I know this, we're talking next year, but when would you like to start seeing some of this come to the table and start discussing in more depth, like February?
No, I think January, so.
January? Okay.
Why don't I think about it a little bit? There's maybe a little bit of a priority to these in terms of what we need to start doing some action items. Which ones need some action items completed earlier in the year versus later. And maybe we can kind of do a priority of, because we're not going to be able to talk about details of all of these in January. So I can maybe put together a schedule of each of these work items of when we're going to work through some of the details and get back to you. But I don't think it's too early to start, laying awake at night a little bit and thinking about what you want to do to accomplish the goals that you set out.
So with your schedule, can you update us as quickly as possible? I just have some grants are drying up, unfortunately, for the area that I'm looking at. Very sadly, they're already telling me 26, 27 for some of these completely are not funded and they don't anticipate funding. Some of those are very grassroots, so there's still other things, but that's not a good temperature in the state. So I want to get aggressive right away. There's a Restore Colorado grant that I want to tackle for July. And I just kind of want to start working on those parameters to get something submitted quick to get feedback.
I think you should go ahead and start going with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to get going on, putting together some sort of scope or a narrative so we understand what exactly, you're going for, and what the town would be committed to or whoever I'm assuming it's a grant opportunity for the town to be the applicant, or is it another?
It is a town, in this case, it would be a town, supported. It's not a matching, so that's nice. So there's a lot more flexibility.
What's it for?
It's for soil restoration and for pollinator corridors, which we have opportunities here
Awesome.
to get some solid funding. Plus, we've got a good animal foot traffic path. I don't know I haven't quite fleshed out what they call it all, like how they do the patterns, migration or pathways. So we have a lot of opportunity for funding through these corridors, which are naturally.
Yeah.
I think I could share with you on corridors.
Right.
It's in my office. I can get
You
it.
have
I just haven't.
you have a
got there
wildlife
yet.
corridor?
Oh, that's fine.
Is it like?
Yeah.
They're from
Answer
Colorado.
your question, January, maybe, back to this, so in a month's time, come back,
Well, I have
So,
two copies.
see what you polished up.
So
And
you might
then
have
see
to
how we can
share.
advance it. As long as it's advancing
It's
one of the
hard.
work items in here, which it does, because either water conservation and soil health, or that's probably it. That's.
I'll probably move on most of these, except for solar. I need to connect with Terry. So, yeah, I need movement quick just to get our foot in the door to maximize any opportunities.
so let me amend what I said earlier. If you have something that you want to get moving on right now, do, and we'll hit that first in terms of our discussions. Is anything that you're moving on now, are there grants that have to be submitted before January?
No.
Okay,
No.
so yeah, I think it'd be great to get all your ducks in order, and we'll plan to talk about those
Perfect.
in January.
Great.
That's cool.
Thank you.
I have one item, and I'm sorry I was a little bit late,
No, you're okay.
to add.
So,
We're kind of due for another town council update or presentation for December. We did August, or was it September? And I said we'd do one more. We're trying to get 4 a year, and this would only be our third. It might be a good idea to do a quick one if we can get an agenda that just kind of goes through this in front of the town.
What I'd recommend is, if you want to show up, December's packed, the agenda for next week, but I think January would be a good time if
Okay.
I would really like to start there. You can also attend the meeting next week to, I'm just trying to think out loud without having a designated SAB presentation item. When the strategic plan is adopted next week, you could come to the podium and just say a few words about the process to collectively agree upon the SAB work plan.
Are they getting anything more than just the descriptions? Will they see anything? More than
Good
descriptions?
question. No, they're just seeing the descriptions, none of the right to goals.
Well, so, and I mean, I guess it'd be nice. I think there's some value in presenting these goals, because we get some good ideas from them. We did last time. So maybe if December's packed, maybe we start thinking for January and have, 10 minutes in front of them to walk.
And by then we'll have the results of the impact grant, so we'll have some
Yeah, that's
powerful
true.
news. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, then
Yeah,
let's do January.
okay, so that could be an agenda item to like prepare for that
Right.
next meeting.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Preston, could you update us on where we are with the update of the town building ordinance?
You mean the energy code cohort
Correct.
stuff?
Yeah,
So that timeline got pushed out a little bit. We're looking to take the text amendments to the planning commission in January. And then what would follow after that is the text amendments going before the town council. So we're looking at February and March. We just wanted to have enough time to make sure all those outreach opportunities that were put on by the code cohort, but really spearheaded by Eco Action Partners and I think Lotus Engineering took place before we formulated everything. And so long-winded way of saying it'll be, March of 2026 by the time everything's kind of wrapped up.
sure. Okay. Yeah, no, that's great. So January, February, March. It sounds like you've got it plugged in.
Yes, sir.
Great.
One random cool thing, I saw Siobhan yesterday. She said she's writing a grant for, I think it was Norwood, for some solar panels on the town's water reclamation site. So like to preserve the water, to help it from like evaporating, and then also just to get some renewable energy. And she says looks like it's probably gonna follow through, and just thought I'd share that with you guys. It sounds like
Which town? Telluride or?
No, I think she said Norwood, but I could be wrong. It's somewhere over there. One of those smaller. It could- Yeah, one of those in towns, yeah.
And it's over there, like wastewater or water
Yeah.
Ponds or something like that.
What are the water?
So it's like
plants?
floating
It's
solar.
Floating solar, exactly.
Oh, that's
That
cool.
one,
Hmm.
Yeah, we've talked about that numerous times. Well, not numerous, but a few times. I know Terry's been involved in some of those conversations over the years, but it's a really cool concept.
It's a pretty small system, and unfortunately, it won't be able to leverage the investment tax credits, which expire at the end of this year, unless they get it installed by the end of this year. So it might be without the ITC credits, which are typically 30%, it might be challenging even with the grant to make it pencil out. And while I'm mentioning that, as it relates to one of our objectives to have more solar in the town of Ridgway specifically. SMPA is also suffering and will be suffering along with any other entity like the town in trying to make solar pencil out without those 30% tax incentives. So it's to the point where the local solar contractors are going out of business as a result of it. So it's a sad situation. Yeah, because there was driven by these incentives. So the incentives were supposed to go through 2030 or 2032, and the big beautiful bill has clipped them at the knees starting January 1st of next year. So SMPA doesn't have any data, including one that I know you're very intimate with, one planned solar array. We don't have the ability to monetize those properly without those incentives. So unless a grant comes along that's even greater than 30%. And that's one thing I'm going to be working with DOLA on is originally DOLA had solar and storage as part of their microgrid grant funding, and they eliminated the solar based upon DOE's restrictions. So I'm going to be working to encourage them to look for additional Colorado Energy Office funding for solar systems that might compensate for the lack of those ITC grants, especially if they can be connected to a microgrid. In the case of Ridgway, we're going to have the big battery here installed. By the way, quick update on that. We're within a couple days of choosing a contractor to put in the 6 MWh battery that will be installed in Ridgway to back up the Ridgway's electric circuit. And it's going to be tied to 100 kilowatt, 250 kilowatt carports, which are being installed now. We've contracted for the installation of those in the SMPA yard. So there'll be 100 kilowatts of new solar, which will be net metered for SMPA behind their fence. And that's going to be tied to a 6 MWh battery if once we choose the contractor and the board of directors approves the expenses.
Awesome, Jerry.
That's awesome.
Well,
Good.
You're amazing, Jerry.
And a similar project is in Rico. So there it's a 4 MWh battery for the town of Rico. So
Where are you putting it at SMPA's,
And the
right where, if you're familiar with driving by the SMPA yard, off to the left as you're looking at the building, there's a couple of containers sitting there right behind the little solar array. Those containers are going to be moved and the battery system will go right there.
awesome, that's so awesome.
what's the size of the solar system you said? 100?
It's two 50 kilowatt carports. One will be, if you're looking at the SMPA building, will be to the right of the building to allow for employee parking. And it'll be facing the street, so it'll be facing south essentially, tilted to the south. The other one will be to the side of the lineman's building, the shop that's off to the east there, and it will be parallel to the shop and facing kind of southwest. So
Okay.
it'll be 250 kilowatt carports. And part of the impetus behind that is, we during the Green Street Park process, we heard a lot of people saying, why don't the town or somebody do some solar carports? That's a good place to put solar. So this was part of the impetus to go forward with those designs rather than putting them on the roof of the building, for example.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, great.
Kind of an example. So hopefully the region and the town and other municipalities will see our carports and take note of them and try to do something similar once incentives are back.
Yeah.
Lead by example.
Incentives are then. That's all.
okay, unless there's any other comments on the work plan. The only other item on the agenda, unless you guys have anything else to talk about, is the minutes from the last meeting, November 11th.
Okay. Does anybody have anything else to discuss before we begin or that they want to say?
I sent out a couple of emails today with kind of bummer emails. Trump administration is taking
Yeah.
taking the word renewable energy out of the NREL lab name, which is ridiculous. I worked there when it was the Solar Energy Research Institute before it was NREL. So this will be the second name change I've seen, but this one's ridiculous. That's my opinion. And then the second was, I think Dave passed it as well. There was the Colorado PUC is pushing all the utilities towards eliminating natural gas on a pretty accelerated pace, which will help us with the arguments that we're trying to make when we introduce the all electric code.
Yeah, that gives us a pretty good cover.
Yeah, that's a good point. I will be looking at updating the website, but of course I'll run it by everybody first before I do it. But I found some text about the award that we could add to the website.
Great.
Oh, that's a good
Terry in
idea.
the town, just copy and pasted from their LinkedIn. So I'll send you all an email so we can put that up hopefully this month.
I would just add a little something too. I changed the town's Facebook banner and it has a picture of Terry and John receiving the award and a little note on the bottom
Oh,
about it.
perfect.
Okay, cool. Okay, that's good to know.
I'd still like to encourage Dave Kay making a separate news article or bring it to more the small towns doing big thing and John's award bringing it to the attention on our website in a pronounced fashion. You know, streaming banner, something big, maybe some of the photos, like I said.
And I was thinking, maybe in that carousel on the top, we could put that information photo.
Okay, like make it big and flashy.
That, and I think it's a great message to put on our aluminum cups, right? Small towns doing big thing awards.
Yeah.
Good
Sustainability
idea.
Summit 2025. You know, we need to help the town identify with the fact that they were recognized for, you know, all the things that we're doing.
That's a great idea, Terry.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good advertising.
Mhm.
Do you want me to research the ball cups, what it would take, how much they would cost with something written on them? I don't mind doing that.
You're more than welcome.
That'd be great.
I'll do that.
But Dana, eventually the town will need to follow our own procurement policy and get quotes ourselves, so.
Right, but at least I could get an idea. They're not
Ballpark, sure.
$13.
Yeah.
I know they're super cheap.
Yeah.
I know they're super cheap.
They're around a buck or less, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, unless we want them printed with,
Award or whatever.
award information, logo.
I'll find that out and then you guys can
That
do
drives
your
the
own
cost, but yeah.
stuff. I'm just curious. I'll just do it. Just for my own
Okay,
curiosity.
All right, I guess I move to approve the minutes from the November 11th meeting.
Second,
All in favor, say aye.
All right.
All right.
wait, isn't this your second meeting? You should have this down by now.
I don't remember what I did this morning.
okay.
That was quick.
Meeting adjourned, I guess.
Aye.
Oh, everybody
That's like-
left.
Pick
fast.
them out.
Oh my God.
Oh, there they are.
There's one there. Are you out of town, Dave? Are you some crazy wild place?
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Isn't gold.
Always. Right now, I'm just in Golden, Colorado
With your grandchildren, your new?
with my grandkids. That's right.
Oh, let's see one of
Hold
them.
us the baby.
Yeah, we want to see the baby.
Hold one up. Hold one up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there maybe any interest in the open position?
Good seeing
Well,
you.
y'all have a Merry Christmas.
You too.
Oh,
Have a
yeah,
great
you
Christmas.
too.
Yeah, you could.
Happy holidays.
Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.
Slip for